Hi guys, it's Rohit here. Welcome to Ask, Believe, and Receive. And today we are going to go in a little bit of depth about five lessons by Neville Goddard. And one of the very key points in that are the two outlooks. The two outlooks we have towards life, especially towards manifestation, towards law of attraction, or the spiritual alignment, whatever you call it, there are two outlooks towards this. So let's get into it and let's have a look at the two outlooks. Very important for us to understand what are the two outlooks. So, in his third chapter in the five lessons, Neville talks about thinking fourth dimensionally. Thinking fourth dimensionally. And what exactly is thinking fourth dimensionally? Let's get into it and I'll explain it more. So Neville says, you are either the natural man who receive it, not the things of the Spirit of God, because to you in the natural focus they are foolishness unto you. So he says, either you are the man who does not receive from the Spirit of God and does not believe in that things because they seem like foolishness to you. Or you are the spiritual man who perceiveth things outside of the imagination of your senses, because all things now realities in a dimensionally larger world. In a dimensionally larger world. So this is where Neville is saying is either you're a man who believes in the very natural world and you don't believe in any kind of spirituality or any kind of effect of your thoughts and all this, and you just believe in the total world of action. Or you are a spiritual man who can perceive the things outside of the limitations of your senses, because the things now realities in a dimensionally larger world. So you can think outside this three-dimensional world, and we live in a three-dimensional world, but we have access to this fourth dimension, whatever you want to call it. Some people call it infinite intelligence, law of attraction, state of alignment, whatever you want to call it. But we have access to this fourth dimension where we can get the answers, we can find the alignment, we can get something which we really want, with desire is pure, our intent is clear, we can get those things very, very fast. So Neville talks about, and he says that you cannot be disturbed when you feel you are what you want to be, because if you feel you are what you want it to be, you're satisfied in that assumption. It's a very overlooked point, and I actually got this point after going through this book maybe 7th time or 8th time. I didn't read the whole book from the very beginning to the end, but I read it multiple times, and I read some chapters and some highlighted points I had multiple times. So I went through the books a lot of times, and this is a point which is very, very overlooked by a lot of people who into law of attraction or manifestation teachings. They kind of overlook this point. What is satisfaction in the assumption, right? So when let's say I want to be a top level public speaker, really great, exceptional top level public speaker. That is what I want to become, a top level public speaker. Now, so Neville says is you cannot be disturbed when you feel you are what you want to be, because if you feel you are what you want it to be, you are satisfied in that assumption. So I can assume that I'm already a world-class public speaker. I'm an amazing, phenomenal public speaker, a world-class public speaker, and I can assume that. Now, the power or the way in the speed in which manifestation occurs is when you totally assume, and you assume it so well that you have this feeling of satisfaction. So let's say I imagine myself on the stage. I'm speaking to people. People are nodding in agreement. I can see the crowd is totally engaged. They're very interested. They're listening to every word I say, and I just feel that I'm doing a phenomenal job of public speaking. At that point, in that visualization, I can feel it, you know, and I just go over that scene again and again and again. And now, this is the difference, because a lot of people, what they do is they just see or imagine one scene, they go over it once, and they just let it go. They don't imagine it again. They don't. If they can reach the feeling of satisfaction in one visualization, and this is how the feeling of satisfaction is. You're imagining a scene. I'm imagining I'm on the stage. I'm speaking to people. The audience is reacting. They're so interested in what I'm saying. Some of them are smiling. I can see their eyes lit up. They're so focused what I'm saying. I can hear slight murmurs, but the people are like amazed by my delivery, my speech. This is what I'm imagining, I'm seeing in my eyes. And I imagine at the end, quickly fast forward this, and then imagine the person who arranged the speech congratulating me, giving me this kind of a handshake, this grab, and like, well done. And this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that somebody congratulating me and telling me, well done, did a phenomenal job. Now this is the difference, because a lot of people would just review this scene once. Okay, if they are in the scene, they just review this scene once, and if they can reach the feeling of satisfaction in one revision, in just one visualization, great. All the power to you. Exceptional job done. You will manifest so many things because you just need one visualization. But for a lot of us, we are not as focused. We don't practice visualization as regularly, or we don't read all the books as frequently, and we are not in total alignment, with our emotions, with our feeling, with our visualization. So what ends up happening for us is our mind drifts, and I'm thinking about something else, and I'm then thinking, and even after visualizing, when I open my eyes and I feel like, okay, I was just visualizing. But the feeling of satisfaction comes when you're visualizing and it feels so real. You've involved all your senses and it feels so real, so real, that when you open your eyes, you are shocked by what you can see at the moment. You are shocked beyond belief, because whatever you were imagining, and that was so real to you, that when you opened your eyes, you couldn't believe that you were imagining that. That is when you know for certain that you have reached the feeling of satisfaction. So the visualization I just did, I just want you to just go with me. I'll take you through that visualization. Just sit with me. Of course, if you're driving or you're operating some heavy machinery, don't do that. But if you have the time, sit down. I'll go take you through a visualization, and I'll try to make it more real. This is what I do. Like when I visualize, when I'm trying to manifest something, this is how I do it. Okay. So first thing is I take in some few deep breaths for 5 seconds, and I hold for 1 or 2 seconds, and then I exhale. So it's like, again, inhale, 5, every time I'm exhaling, I'm imagining all the stress, all the worries leaving me. Again, inhale, 3, 4, 5, So I see myself on the stage, and I can see the lights. I can feel how the lights and the shadows in the ground. I can feel the intensity of the light. I can feel how I'm feeling at that moment. A little bit excited, a little bit nervous, but I can feel my heart rate is going fast, but at the same time, I'm feeling confident. And I'm going to make a huge difference for all the people in the stands. And I can hear all the sounds. I can hear the echo of my voice. I can hear some people talking and lightly and people nodding at me. I can see that people nodding at me, they're appreciating what I say. Almost everyone is engaged. They're looking at what I'm saying. And I can feel it. I can just feel people looking at me and they're nodding their heads and they're in agreement, and some of them are like glued to every word I say. Some of them have these big eyes of amazement, of attention, excitement, of wonder, looking at me. I can feel that in the crowd. I can see that. I can feel that. I can smell the smell of the wood I'm standing. There's a certain smell to a room, kind of certain room. You can feel it. Even if there's no smell for you, you can just smell that there's no special smell. That itself is sense of smell. I can feel my feet on the ground and I'm grounded. I'm standing in a good posture, presenting in a nice way. My hands are moving in a very natural way. Things are very natural. Nothing forced. A little bit of nervousness, and that is okay. But I'm moving confidently. I'm sharing my thoughts. I'm being expressive. I'm changing my voice, going slowly and faster, keeping my audience engaged, on point. What can I see? What can I hear? What can I smell? What can I feel? So I'm bringing all my senses. If I had something to taste, I could actually taste it. But in this visualization, I don't really need to taste anything. I'm just so focused, so immersed in the crowd and my message. It's amazing. And then when I finish, I hear a big roar, people are clapping. I go to the organizer, and he gives me a hand grab and a shake, and it's like, well done, man. Great speech. Well delivered. And I can feel his hand. I can feel the look in his eyes. I can see it. I can hear what he words is saying. And I can smell, getting close to a person, you can smell their clothes, their cologne, whatever. I can smell it. And I just repeat this small scene. People clapping, feeling all this. I'm giving the sensation and people clapping. I go and grab a hand. Well done. Done. And I repeat this small scene over and over again. And now when I open my eyes, I'm kind of shocked that I'm actually not in a theater. I'm not on a stage. I'm amazed that I'm actually not on a stage. This is what the feeling of satisfaction is. That when you involve all your senses so completely, that you're in the scene so completely, and when you revise the scene and you go over the scene again and again, you have this feeling of satisfaction that this scene is so real that it is real. That is when you're satisfied in your assumption. And this is a key point where a lot of people overlook this, and they think it's not that important. I personally know a few people who are very good at manifestation, and they maybe not need to revise it so much. They might not need to, go over it so many times like I had to. But for majority of us, we need to revise in such a way when we open our eyes, we should be shocked that we are not actually there. That is what the satisfaction and assumption is. And now what will happen is when you now walk out of your room, people will see you differently, and they will say, this is what Neville says to others who just superficially, you seem no longer to desire, so then desire is dead. You go out there and people say, oh, I thought you were going for this, becoming a public speaker, top level public speaker, but I don't see any drive or desire. I mean, he just looks chilled out, he looks satisfied, and he no longer desires that, right? And they think you might have lost your ambition because you no longer discuss your secret ambition. You no longer talk to people and say, I'm planning to, I went to Toastmasters this time, I went to this training this time, I want to be a public speaker and all that. You have completely adjusted yourself to the idea. You've assumed that you are what you want to be. You've assumed it so well that you no longer desire it, so you don't feel the need of discussing it. You know what? You already are it. You already are a top level public speaker. Why do you need to discuss with anyone? Why do you need to tell anyone that it's a desire? You already are it. You already have it. You've assumed that you are what you want to be. Things that I'm not attentive to fade away within and wither within my world, regardless of what they are. You can either be attentive to the limitations and feed this and make them your mountains, or you can be attentive to your desires. But to become attentive, you must assume you are already which you want it to be. So if you just focus on, I'm going to be a phenomenal speaker, I'm going to be a speaker, these are the skills which I've learned, these are the things which I've learned. You just focus on, if you're not focused on the limitations, like I'm not tall enough, my voice is not strong enough, I don't know how to deliver it, I don't know the tactics, I get too nervous. If you are attentive to your limitations, you will make them mountains. You just switch your focus. I'm a phenomenal speaker, I have great tactics, I know how to vary my voice, I know how to be powerful with my voice, I'm learning how to speak loudly, quietly, I can vary my voice and speak in a high tone if I need to, I can speak in a low tone if I need to vary my voice and all that. And so you assume you are already which you want it to be. That is when you really transcend the first outlook and go to the second outlook, and your manifestation will become so powerful, and you will see the results so quickly. So that's what I wanted to share. If you do visualization on a regular basis, this is how I want you to do the visualization, because I see this is a gap with a lot of people on YouTube who are trying to explain that they never actually take people through the visualization. They never actually talk about how they do the visualization. So that's why I incorporate the visualization when I'm trying to explain something across to you, so that you can get it with how to do it and how to actually manifest the things which you're trying to manifest it. So first you ask the universe, you believe you have received it, you already are it, and you just drop all the resistance. Just be open to receiving, and it will come to you. It will come to you. So if you really found this video useful, please like it and subscribe, and try my visualization. Post it in the comment section below how you found it. Did you find it more powerful? Did you find it more powerful? Did you felt there were some shifts? I would like to know your comments, and take care. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.